Good afternoon, traders. The second week of trading in May 2021 has begun. The first day of that week is over. I thought it would be time to take another look and see how the month is going so far, how today went, and what we could possibly expect in the future. So, the indices, they're all red today, but let's take a look and see how bad it really is. Now, the last time we looked at these was Monday, May 3rd. That was the first trading day of the month, and that's what these lines are from. Let's see how they did and if they're still valid and all that stuff. So if you watch that video, you'll see that I drew this out as a level of support, and I think I pointed out also a level of resistance here because this is an obvious consolidation area. And I said if it breaks out of this level, that who knows where it's going to go, but obviously it will be making new highs. We can see that's what happened. I'm sure I also mentioned that if it breaks down below this support level, that this would probably be the next level. That didn't happen, but that goes to show you have no idea which direction it's going to go. You can only figure out some possible outcomes if it breaks down to those levels. So it broke out through that consolidation area, and now we are at all-time highs with a pullback today. We have no idea if this pullback is going to continue tomorrow or not. The next level of support will be right here, will be based off of this consolidation level, so about 342. So if this thing continues to head down, I'll just make these white so they're different than the old or gray. So if the price continues downward, then it will likely hit this level, and then it's likely to bounce off because of this consolidation here. But then if it breaks down, then it's going to be headed to that 336 level. So that's all you can say based on what's happening so far. This is the daily chart, by the way. Let's go back to the SPY now, which this tracks the S&P 500. So again, refer back to my other video if you want to see, how I came up with these lines. And I'm sure I also mentioned there was probably an obvious level of support down here, and that if the price continued, let's see where May 3rd is, right there. So if the price broke down through this line, then I probably said it's going to come back to this 410, 411 level. In fact, I remember that now that I'm saying it. And it did, but then it bounced up and made new highs. Now we are coming back to this area of support here. And again, if it breaks down through this level, it could head back down to that 410, 411 level. And really now it needs to kind of, this is basically a double top right here. So if it's really strong, if it's going to continue this upward movement, it needs to break out through this double top sooner than later. So that's the SPY. And now let's take a look at the Nasdaq. So this thing's kind of a mess. Again, these two levels are from the May 3rd video. So let's see. Now, here's what's interesting. This thing sold off big time today. Why did it stop here? Let's put a level and see something interesting here on the chart and why support and resistance is often kind of obeyed. So look at the bottom of this candle touches this 13,400 level, 13,400 level. Bottom of this candle touches. Top of this candle definitely touches. So does this one here. These guys are really close as well. It's just the wicks breaking out above them. So you can see that the stock has traded and really reversed at that level many times. So it is likely based off of that this thing does reverse tomorrow, but we don't know. If it heads down through this level, it likely will not stop until about here. Not necessarily in one day. That part nobody knows, but could definitely come back all the way down to that 13,000 level. So that's some possibilities. Then, of course, if it breaks out through this resistance, we'll be heading back up to this next level. It would probably take a few days, just like it did in the past. So this is really all you can do. So do this kind of support and resistance on your charts. You can use this for individual stocks, ETFs. Come up with a plan for your trade. Trade based off of that plan, stick to it, have a stop loss and a profit target in mind, and no matter what happens, stick to it. That way you can save yourself if the plan doesn't work out, and you can try again on the next time. So that's about it. The other thing, let's take a look really quick at the top gainers list. Top gainers one day, the number one stock went up almost 83%, which that's generally a good thing to see. That means that there's some energy. Generally, that's a low float stock, and that's what this is. But I'm not that excited about it because if you look at, let's just look at the 5-minute chart for a little bit easier scalability here, but you can see here's the market open. This thing just sold off, kind of went flat throughout the day, and then I mean, basically wasn't trading all day. This is no volume here. If you scan over these charts, you can see this is like tens of thousands of shares traded in each 5-minute candle. That's nothing. So this basically didn't trade all day long, and then all of a sudden, maybe off of some news, maybe a pump and dump, who knows what, volume came in and just pushed this thing way up. And let's see if there was at least maybe 1 or 2 ABCD patterns in there. I'm sure there are. Here you go right here. So you could say this is point A, point B, the new high. This is more of a consolidation area. If I was trading this using the ABCD pattern, then my first entry would have been for the break of this candle here. My stop loss would have been right here. And then 2 times that risk would have been about right here, 483. So obviously there was definitely a successful ABCD trade in there, but I don't trade at this time of day. And if you were hanging around all day waiting for something like this to happen, you are likely working on a big red day and finally maybe recouped some losses at that point. But generally, it's not a good idea for day traders to hang out all day long and look for trades like this. So that's what I mean by I'm not that excited that something like this happened so late in the day. Is it a possibility that this thing could continue higher tomorrow? Yes, of course, but nobody knows. And my criteria to see if there's still energy in this thing tomorrow would be to mark out the high, and it must break out through those highs to indicate that there's still strength in the stock. Otherwise, it's just a simple pump and dump, and I don't want anything to do with it. So anyway, hopefully this was helpful to you guys. Let me know if you have any questions. If it was helpful, hit the like button. If you haven't already, subscribe. As always, no matter what, make sure you have a plan going into every single trade. Take your stop losses, honor your profit targets, and in the long run, you should be green. Take care.